Welcome. Today we're jumping into the book of Haggai. It's short, you could miss it, but wow is it powerful. It's a story all about getting our priorities straight and, well, the incredible promises that can follow when we do. All right, let's just dive right in because the prophet Haggai doesn't waste a single word. He kicks things off with this really piercing question for his community. He's basically asking, hey, everyone, is it really the right time for you to be living in your nice paneled houses while this house, God's house, is still a pile of rubble? I mean, talk about a direct challenge to their priorities, right from the get-go. Now, to really get the weight of this question, you have to understand their situation. We need a little context. So decades earlier, the first temple, the absolute center of their spiritual lives, was destroyed. They've since been allowed to come home from exile, which is great. But here's the thing. About 18 years have passed, and the one job they were supposed to do, rebuilding that temple, has totally stalled out. And that is the exact problem Haggai is zeroing in on. The whole community, they'd sort of settled back into their routines, They were focusing on their own comfort, building up their own houses, while the one project they came back for was just completely ignored. Now look, they had a reason for it, or at least that's what they told themselves. It was an excuse, really. They just kept saying, the time isn't right yet. It's just not the time to build the Lord's house. You can almost hear it, can't you? The economy's not great, or we just don't have the resources. The bottom line was this collective shrug, this feeling of, not yet. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. Haggai starts connecting their spiritual procrastination to their very real, everyday problems. He's basically arguing that their struggles aren't just random bad luck. Nope. He says they are a direct consequence of their choices. He gives them this simple but really profound command, and he repeats it to make sure it sinks in. Consider your ways. He's telling them to just stop. Stop what you're doing, take a hard look at your lives, and connect the dots between what you're doing and what you're getting. And then he paints this incredibly vivid picture of their frustration. I mean, think about it. They're working hard. They're planting seeds, they're earning money, buying food, but nothing is paying off. It's like all their effort is completely disconnected from the results. And that last one? Wow. Earning a paycheck feels like stuffing cash into a pocket with a giant hole in it. It's just gone. Haggai just lets that feeling of total frustration hang in the air for a second. And then he asks the single most important question you can ask. Why? Why is nothing working out for you people? And the answer is just plain cause and effect. God says, essentially, your fields are failing because my house is in ruins while every single one of you is busy running off to fix up your own place. Their priorities were completely backwards, and it was sucking the life out of everything else they were trying to do. So what happens next is the crucial part of the story. After this really blunt diagnosis, Haggai gives them a call to action. And the community's response is, well, it's nothing short of remarkable. And the instruction isn't some big, complicated 10-step plan. It's simple, it's direct, it's achievable. Go up to the mountain, get some wood, and start building the house. He doesn't tell them to find gold or marble. He just says start with what you have. And boom, the message hits home. It's this powerful turning point. The governor, the high priest, the entire community, they listen. And together, they get moving. Just 23 days after Haggai first spoke, they finally begin the work. And the very moment they get their actions in line with their purpose, they get this immediate, powerful reassurance from God, I am with you. It's like the ultimate confirmation, right? You put first things first, and you're back on the right path. But, starting the work is one thing. Keeping it going is something else entirely. Almost as soon as they began, a new problem popped up. The people got discouraged. So here's why. Some of the older folks in the crowd, they actually remembered the original temple built by Solomon. And that thing was magnificent. So when they looked at their humble little project, just a foundation and some wood, it felt like nothing in comparison. Their work just seemed so small, so insignificant. So to fight back against this wave of despair, Haggai delivers another message, but this time it's pure encouragement. He tells everyone, from the top leaders all the way down, be strong and work. And he reminds them again of that foundational promise, for I am with you. And then comes this absolutely stunning promise. God tells them, don't judge by what you see right now. He declares that this new house, this one that looks so much less impressive, is actually destined for a glory that will be even greater than the legendary First Temple. So the final message in the book brings us right back to that theme of cause and effect, and it uses this really fascinating analogy to explain how their past actions led to a certain result and how their new actions are about to change absolutely everything. So Haggai does something really clever. He goes to the priests, the experts in the law, and he hits them with this kind of logic puzzle. He asks, all right, question 1. If a piece of holy meat touches some other food, does that other food become holy? And the priests are like, nope, doesn't work that way. Then he asks question 2. Okay, but what if someone who is ceremonially unclean touches some food? Does the food become unclean? And of course they say, oh, absolutely, yes. The point is simple. Contamination spreads way easier than holiness does.
And then he applies that exact principle to them. He says that because they were neglecting the holy work of the temple, a kind of spiritual uncleanness had contaminated everything else they did. That's why their farming, their business, all the work of their hands was totally fruitless.
But now, everything has changed. He tells them to mark this very day on their calendars, the day the foundation was laid. He says, consider this moment forward, because from this day on, a whole new principle is in effect. Blessing is now going to flow from their obedience. And the book ends with this deeply personal and profound promise made to their leader, Zerubbabel. In the middle of all these promises to shake the heavens and the earth, God singles him out and says he will make him like a signet. So what does that even mean? Well, a signet ring was what a king used to stamp his official seal on documents. It was his mark of authority, his very identity. It was intensely valuable and personal. So for God to say he'll make Zerubbabel like his signet ring, that was a promise to be chosen, to be valued, to be restored to a place of ultimate honor and purpose. And so this ancient story, it really circles right back to us, doesn't it? It leaves us with a really modern and really personal question. It pushes us to do exactly what Haggai told them to do, to consider our ways. To take a hard look at the foundations we're building in our own lives, and to honestly ask ourselves, what have we prioritized over what truly matters?